Hello everyone, this is Esports Hector, and in this video we're going to go over a simple hip distraction. The reason why I like to do this is if I just use my hands as an example, if this is the socket of my hip and this is the ball of my femur, so again the leg where your quads run, more or less it should kind of wrap around in that socket. However, sometimes just through sitting in positions that we shouldn't be for too long, that can shift a little bit out of whack, more or less. And so what we want to do here with this distraction is create enough of a resistance that everything starts to the muscles start to more or less turn off to some extent and reset itself back into that socket. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take the band. And with taking the band, I'm going to place it right into the crease of my hip. Okay, so as you can see, it's angled up towards my pocket, and I'm going to just sit right down. Now, in terms of where you place the band, I'm setting a 2.5 minute timer, and I'll explain more about what we're doing here in just a second. What we're doing here is you want to make sure that the band height that's on the rack, in this case, is about hip height. Mine might be just a little bit higher, and that's perfectly fine. It just really depends on what it is that you're trying to do. I don't want my right foot to be, off to the side. I want to be more in line here. And what I want to also focus on is with my left knee being down, my left toe is dug into the floor, okay? Now that's really important, so that way we can really get the glute to fire up, which will then start to create some of that tension and release especially in the hip flexors. So just holding this for, again, 2.5 total minutes. You can do it for 3 minutes, but I would say anything longer than 3 minutes probably isn't going to do much more of a benefit for you. So that's why I try to keep it in that time frame. What I'm going to do here now is I'm going to just fast forward quickly, just so that way you're not sitting around waiting on me to keep rambling on. When the timer goes off, I will then stand up, walk around for a couple moments, and then we're going to switch sides. Now I'm just walking around, and one thing you're going to notice is the best way to describe the sensation or feeling that you're getting is when you start walking around, it should almost feel like you're walking on a cloud. So as you can see, I'm just going to bring this down just a peg lower. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the right side. And I'm starting my timer right now. Again, it shouldn't be a wrestling match or a tug of war where I'm shifting forward and sitting back. I should be nice and still in this position for that 2.5 minutes. And right now what I can say is I can feel how loose everything feels around that hip. I feel like I can probably move a little bit better. One thing that I would say is doing this, for 2.5 minutes on each side, either, twice or 3 times a week, you'll probably notice exponentially just how much better your hips feel. Probably feel a lot better sitting down into the bottom of your squat, or just getting into positions that are going to be very opportunistic and give us more of a mechanical advantage when it comes to working out. So again, I'm just going to fast forward through some of this because it's going to just be silent. Otherwise, you'd be stuck here for 1.5 minutes. When that timer, or when it runs through, I'm going to walk around, give some final closing moments, and we'll go from there. That was 2.5. So again, just walk around. You may even feel like walking now with both sides being loose feels very different. And that's, again, very normal. As you start to do this, again, I would only do it once a day, really, and I would use it as part of my warm-up. just so that way when I start going into my big body or big, muscle movements, everything feels pretty good. So if you really enjoyed what we just went over here with our hip distraction, if you could please subscribe, like, comment about the different movements that you like to do where you see this could provide the most value, I would greatly appreciate it. And as always, everybody, stay healthy and game on.